Hey guys, TQM here, and welcome to the very first episode of TQM Tech, where today we'll be taking a look at the Rode Wireless Go microphone system. As this is my first tech review, I just wanted to talk a little bit about myself before we get started. I started my online presence on Twitch streaming board games and video games, but over the past year, I started getting into photography and vlogging as my wife and I travel around the world. Over the course of this past year, I got new cameras, new lenses, and new equipment to make my vlogs better quality and just make them an overall better experience and more fun to use. Now I'm sure, like with many people getting started with vlogging, I purchased this little guy, the Rode VideoMicro, to use as my primary vlogging microphone. I've really enjoyed using this microphone because it's very small, but still produces great audio quality. I've always thought that the vlogs that I've put out so far have had better production value solely because of the good audio coming from this microphone. However, I do still have a couple of small complaints with it. Ironically, the biggest complaint I have with using this microphone is its size, especially when using the dead cat to reduce wind noise. A lot of my vlogs are recorded outside, so I pretty much have to have this thing permanently attached, and as you can see, that greatly increases the size of the microphone system. Pair this with my small A6400, and you can see that this compact system has now greatly increased in size. Enter the Rode Wireless Go microphone system. This system is so small. It has a small receiver that I have mounted on my Sony a7 III right now, and a small transmitter that I have clipped onto myself that has a built-in lavalier microphone. Also in the box, you'll get two USB charging cables, so you can charge both the receiver and the transmitter separately. You'll also get two windscreens to mount on the top of the microphone. To mount the windscreen, you'll simply take the two clips at the bottom and attach them into the transmitter like so. You'll also get a small carrying pouch that you can use to store your microphones when you're traveling. I love the flexibility that this microphone system offers. You don't only have to use the microphone built into the transmitter, but you can also attach an external lavalier microphone into the transmitter and attach the transmitter to a belt or pocket in order to use it as a traditional wireless system. So for example, I have these Maono lavalier microphones that I use for my board game streams, and if I wanted, I could attach this microphone into the transmitter and use this as my lavalier rather than the built-in microphone. Setting up the system was extremely easy. Right out of the box, the receiver is paired with the transmitter, and all you have to do is power on both devices and they are automatically synced. Once the microphones are synced up, you can attach the transmitter to the camera's hot shoe or cold shoe simply by opening up the clip and sliding it into the shoe, and then using the provided patch cable to connect the transmitter to your camera's microphone input. Then you simply clip on the transmitter to the talent, and then you can begin recording. The other nice thing about this system is that there's a dB switch on the receiver that you can use to lower the gain of the microphones to either -10 or -6 decibels in order to make sure that you don't send too hot of a signal to your camera. On both my Sony a7 III and my a6400, I have the onboard volume set to 1, and I still have to use -6 dBs on the transmitter in order to get a signal that isn't too loud. Unfortunately, I don't have all of the technical know-how to go over all of the other specs of this microphone system, but I do want to go through a couple of tests that might be helpful for new people getting started with vlogging. I'm going to do both tests indoors and outdoors using my Sony a7 III and my a6400 to compare the audio quality of the Rode Wireless Go system to the Rode VideoMicro, and you can decide for yourself which microphone you like better. So without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and head outside and get started with these tests. All right, so for our first test, I'm using my Sony a6400 with the Rode Wireless Go microphone. This is what I'm planning on using as my primary vlogging setup when I'm traveling because it's very small and compact, and it won't draw much attention when I'm walking around, especially in different countries. So I'm really liking this setup so far due to its portability, but now let's see what it sounds like when attaching an external lavalier microphone to the system. All right, so now I'm testing the a6400 with the Rode Wireless Go in a more traditional sense by clipping the transmitter onto my shorts here and using an external lavalier microphone to capture the audio. Now I do like this setup as well because it's even more discreet, I would say, than the built-in microphone, as this microphone has a little smaller footprint, but I do think that there's an increased risk for you to get shirt noise as you're walking around using this microphone system versus the built-in microphone. For both of these tests, I have my camera volume here set to 1, which is the lowest that it can go, and I'm using the transmitter at -6 decibels in order to get a signal that's not too hot. So now we're going to go ahead and test the VideoMicro using the a6400. All right, so now we're testing the Sony a6400 using the Rode VideoMicro. Again, this was the first microphone that I got as I started getting into vlogging. But compared to the Wireless Go system, you can probably see that this microphone is a good deal bulkier, especially when using this dead cat. It's actually so big to a point where I actually can't see the front-facing screen that the A6400 has, but that's something that I'm going to have to fix for both systems regardless, using some sort of relocation plate. So for this microphone, I have my in-camera volume set to 7 or 8 in order to get a signal that's both loud enough where I can actually pick up my voice without having to yell, but also not too loud to a point where I'm actually clipping my audio from being too hot. So now why don't we do a quick test of the onboard microphone for the Sony A6400, and then we'll repeat these tests using the Sony A7 III. All right, for our last outdoor test using the Sony A6400, I'm just using the onboard microphones for the camera. Both the Rode VideoMicro and Wireless Go systems should provide better audio quality than your onboard microphone, and either is going to be a great purchase, especially if you're just getting started into vlogging. So now why don't we go ahead and do some outdoor tests using the Sony A7 III and see if we get similar results. Alright, so now I'm doing a test using the Rode Wireless Go and the A7 III. Just like with my A6400, I have my camera volume set to 1 and I have the receiver set to -6 dB. So the nice thing with this wireless system is as I step away from the camera, I should be maintaining good audio volume as I step further and further away, which is something that you're not going to get with a shotgun style microphone. So I really do like the flexibility that this wireless system has to offer. So why don't we go ahead and do the same test again using the attached lavalier microphone. All right, now I have an external lavalier microphone plugged into the transmitter for the Wireless Go. And as I turn around and walk away, I should be maintaining good clear volume as I continue to shoot and walk away. Again, that's something that a shotgun microphone is not going to provide, as evident in this test that we're about to do now using the VideoMicro. All right, now we're testing the A7 III using my Rode VideoMicro. I have my in-camera volume set to 8, and as you can see, as I step further and further away from the camera, it's harder and harder to hear me because you're not going to get that flexibility that you get with having the wireless microphone attached directly to your body. So that's one thing to take into consideration when you're choosing your first microphone. And now for our final test outside, we're using the onboard microphone for my Sony A7 III. Now you should be getting better audio quality with either the VideoMicro or the Wireless Go system, so you're really not going to be going wrong when you're first getting started with vlogging. Either option is going to give you better audio than you would be getting with this onboard microphone. So now why don't we get inside before it gets too dark, and we'll do another round of these tests. Alright, so now that we're back inside, let's go through just a couple more tests. We're in the biggest room in my house right now, so we should be getting a good idea of what the echo is like that these different microphones pick up. Right now I'm using my A6400 and the Rode Wireless Go system, but why don't we switch over to the VideoMicro real quick and see how the two microphones compare. Alright, so now I've switched over to the Rode VideoMicro attached to my A6400. Now without reviewing the footage yet, I would guess that this microphone is picking up a little more echo than the lavalier from the Wireless Go is picking up. And that's just because this microphone is sort of picking up everything that's in front of it, whereas the Wireless Go is connected right towards your body. However, I am still close to the camera right now, so this microphone should still be picking up my voice pretty well. So now I'm going to take this microphone off and we'll switch to the onboard mic and see how that sounds. Alright, and now we're using the onboard microphone for the A6400 here. So again, without reviewing the footage, I would guess that this microphone setup is the worst out of the three. However, it is the smallest as no additional microphones do need to be attached. However, I do think that it's more important to have better audio quality, so I would recommend picking up one of these two microphone systems after looking back at this footage and determining which one is best for you. So now that we're finished with all of these tests, I'm going to review the footage and then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts on the Rode Wireless Go and how it compares to the Rode VideoMicro. Alright, well I had a chance to review all of the footage last night and I have to say I'm very happy with the Rode Wireless Go. This wireless microphone produces excellent audio quality with good clarity both indoors and outdoors, and overall I'm very excited to use a microphone that produces such good audio quality in such a tiny package. I'm also looking forward to the flexibility that a wireless microphone provides over a standard shotgun microphone. I'll be able to record more segments with a stationary camera and walk around and know that my audio is still at a good consistent volume and clarity. Now that's not to say that the Rode VideoMicro is a bad microphone. When comparing the footage, the audio quality from the Rode VideoMicro was still excellent, and honestly, if I were doing a blind comparison between the two microphones, I might have a hard time choosing in some certain situations. I'm probably still going to keep the VideoMicro in my bag to either use as a backup or to use during certain situations. However, I do plan on using the Rode Wireless Go as my primary vlogging microphone. Even though I'm planning on switching over to the Wireless Go, there are a couple of minor things to keep in mind when choosing which microphone works best for you. The first thing I'd like to bring up is the fact that you're going to have to charge both the transmitter and the receiver for the Rode Wireless Go. If you're like me, you already have several devices that have to be charged. I have 2 cameras, a DJI Osmo Pocket, a smartphone, and several other devices that have to be charged. With this wireless microphone, you're adding 2 more devices that you'll have to charge, and that can be quite a handful, especially when traveling in areas with limited outlets. However, with the Rode VideoMicro, you don't have to worry about charging at all. You simply plug the microphone into the camera, and when you turn the camera on, the microphone is ready to go. If you do decide to go with the Wireless Go, or any other wireless microphone for that matter, it's important to plan ahead. If you already have several devices that need to be charged, it may be a good idea to get a power hub to charge multiple devices at the same time. The second small complaint I have with this system is the windscreen. Attaching the tabs into the microphone can be hit or miss, and even once attached, it doesn't feel like the most secure connection. It's a good thing that Rode provides you with 2 of these windscreens, because I can already foresee myself losing one of these as I'm traveling around the world. I would recommend clipping the microphone onto yourself first and then attaching the windscreen. That way you don't end up accidentally knocking off the windscreen while you're putting the microphone on. The third minor complaint I have with the Wireless Go is more specific to me or anyone using the a6400 or a camera of a similar body design. I found when attaching the receiver to the camera, the eyepiece is actually blocking the belt clip a little bit, and it does not allow you to get a full connection into the hot shoe. I had to remove the eyepiece off of the camera in order to get a good fit. Now this can be fixed by using something like a cage or relocation plate to move your hot shoe over. This is something that I'm actually planning on doing anyway in order to get full access to the front-facing screen of my a6400, but that is something to keep in mind. Another complaint that I have with the Wireless Go, that again is specific to me, is how this transmitter works with my lavalier microphones. I actually did another test outdoors using the external lavalier microphone, and I got similar results as you'll see here. Alright, so this is just a quick retest of the Sony a6400 with the Rode Wireless Go and an external lavalier microphone. I have my in-camera volume set to 1, and the receiver is set to -12 decibels this time, since before with the -6 decibels switched on, I was still getting some clipping using this microphone. So now we're going to compare to see if this sounds any better, or if it's just a problem using this microphone. So as you can see, while the audio quality had improved a little bit, it's still not the best when compared to just using the internal microphone in the transmitter. This isn't a big deal for me because I do plan on primarily using this internal microphone, but it is something to keep in mind. This is probably because I'm using really cheap lavalier microphones, and I'm sure if you get a better external microphone, you will get better audio quality. I know Rode makes their Smart Lav lavalier microphones, and I'm sure those work perfectly with this system. With all of that said, I am still planning on using the Rode Wireless Go as my primary vlogging microphone. I do still plan on keeping my VideoMicro in my bag to use as a backup. I'll be able to use this microphone still if the batteries on my Wireless Go die, or if I plan on shooting segments with multiple people talking at the same time. But which microphone would I recommend that you get if you are just getting started with vlogging? There are a couple of factors to keep in mind when choosing your first microphone. First is the size. The Rode Wireless Go is a much smaller system. Both the transmitter and the receiver are very tiny, whereas the Rode VideoMicro is a little bit bigger and will be a little bit more noticeable when you're vlogging while traveling. The second factor to consider will be what type of videos are you shooting. If you're planning on shooting videos with the camera far away from the microphone, it may be a good idea to invest in this wireless system. However, if you're just vlogging yourself while you're walking around in a different city, the Rode VideoMicro is not a bad choice, as the audio quality is still very good when you're close to the microphone. And the third and most important thing to consider is going to be the cost. This Rode VideoMicro is very cheap at $60, whereas the Rode Wireless Go microphone system is going to be close to $200. If you do have the budget for it, I recommend the Wireless Go, as I feel that the audio quality is just a little bit better than what you'll get from the VideoMicro. However, if you're just getting started, if you're going to be recording your very first vlog in the next couple of weeks, I would actually probably still recommend getting the VideoMicro instead. You won't have to dig too deep into your wallet in order to get good quality audio, and then as you continue to vlog and get more experience, you can upgrade your system and still continue to use this microphone as a backup. All in all, I'm very happy that I purchased this Rode Wireless Go microphone. This microphone produces excellent audio quality in such a tiny package. If you're interested in seeing more samples of the Rode Wireless Go microphone, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon in order to get notified when new vlogs get uploaded to my channel. I will be traveling out of town for work in the next couple of weeks, so I am going to try to vlog while I'm out of town, and my wife and I will be traveling to Japan in June, so be sure to tune in for that. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I may consider going back and reviewing some of my other equipment from the perspective of someone just getting started with vlogging. You can check out my Instagram at TQM_GG. And lastly, if you're interested in watching me stream board games or video games, you can hang out with me on Twitch at twitch.tv/TQM_GG. Thank you all so much for checking out this video, and until next time, cheers.